Hey guys, what's up? What's up? We're back. We are back. Just wait a minute for everybody to get on and get settled, get populated here. All right. As you come on, let me know who you are. Well, I guess I know who you are because your names will show up. But as you come on, let's go ahead and say what's up. All right. Good evening, sunshine. Awesome to have you. Good to be back. Good to see you back. I am so sorry for the last few weeks that last couple weeks actually. All right. All right, we're just waiting a moment. All right. All right. Well, sunshine, is a pleasure having you, and I'm sure others are coming. We had a little break. I was out of the country and experienced some real technical difficulties just trying to get things together. But we're back now, and we're ready to rock and roll. So hopefully you got all of your notifications that we are back in motion, back in full swing. Okay. All right. Sunshine, are you from LA? You from California, right? All right. Manny LaRock. Is that LaRock? Okay. Hey, what's up, Manny? It's a pleasure to have you, man. Good to meet you. I'm assuming you're a man, Manny. Toy, this Coop. What's up, Coop? How you doing, buddy? Okay, I'm waiting till everybody get on, and then I'm gonna say something about this gentleman and his business, because we shout people out here and give them props when they're doing good things. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more audience here, and then hey, South Florida, that's very cool. Yeah, okay, great. All right. Yeah, we're just taking a second. This is only mango juice for y'all who questioning. If it wasn't, it'd be okay too, though. All right. Let me tell you something. First of all, it's good to be on here, Coop. It's good to have you on here, Coop. You and Toy. Hopefully she's on too. You all bring another couple next week. Let me tell you something. I'm walking down. I think I was in Decatur or somewhere, and we're walking down the street, and I saw this couple, just a little pop-up restaurant. And they had some burgers, some Wagyu smash burgers. So I'm like, hey, dude, let me try one of those. Of course, we talked about the show, whatever. And then my man fixed me up a smash burger, a Coop burger, whatever you call it. And I ain't even going to play. I ain't going to front. I was like, okay, another burger. I let Wendy taste it. That burger was crazy. That was a crazy good burger. One of the best I've had in Atlanta. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not just saying that because Coop's on here, right? Okay, Toy, what's up? But that was one of the best. The Coop Smash Burger was one of the best burgers I've had. So, dude, we need to get you some. People need to hear about you. All right, now I need to, get some free burgers or something for the shout out. All right, but look, let's jump right into it. tonight we want to talk about the silent treatment, okay? And look, the way this works is this interactive. For those of you guys who are on it for the first time, Coop Smashburger. If you're on for the first time, I just want to let you know this is interactive. So as we're asking questions, please respond. Please go ahead and respond. Let us know what's up. Coop put this stuff out there on IG. Got you. Yes, I ain't got no shame in my game asking for a free burger. There is no shame. All right? But anyway, let's rock and roll. So tonight we want to talk to you. If you got the notification, we're talking about the silent treatment. The silent treatment. Okay, Wendy, enough burger. We're talking about the silent treatment. Everyone has experienced it. But I just want to share this with you. This scene. Okay, she didn't say a word for 4 days. 4 days. Not good morning, not pass the salt, not, how was your day, not I'm leaving for work. For 4 days in a 2-bedroom apartment, she said nothing. And when he finally asked her, what did I do? This is what she said. If you don't know, I'm not going to tell you. All right? Here's my question for you tonight. I want you to really consider this. Was that a boundary or was that a weapon? She ain't said nothing. And when he asked her, she says, if you don't know what's wrong with me, I'm not going to tell you. Tonight we want to talk about the silent treatment. I want to talk about this, okay? And you guys, please, let's respond to this, okay? Because here's the thing. We've gotten so good at boundaries. We've gotten so good at saying things, internet words and social media stuff. I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my peace. I don't owe you my energy, and all this other kind of crap. That our silent treatment has become punishing behavior. And that's what we want to talk about tonight. When is it good to be silent? And when is it punitive or punishment to be silent? And I want you to drop me a line, drop me a thumbs up or me or whatever if you've ever gotten the silent treatment or if you've ever given the silent treatment. Because everybody has done it. Wendy and I have been married going on 18 years. We've done it. Okay? Just silence. So let me know if that's ever happened to you. Thumbs up with Jessica. I feel you. You see, Coop said it's me. When in my book, Marriage Ain't for Punks, I teach that there are 7 pathways to communication. And silence is one of them. But there's a proper way to use silence. There's a proper way to use it, and there's an improper way to use it. And we're going to talk about that. I want to talk to you about what's a good way to use silence and what is a destructive way to use it. Now I want you to get this, okay? I do a lot of reading, a lot of studying other material. Dr. John Gottman of the Gottman Institute, he has incredible material out there. And he calls this silence, or rather he calls it stonewalling, as one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Stonewalling, right? And he says this is one true way to determine that your marriage is about to die, when you're stonewalling. And he's been studying relationships for decades, And the thing with stonewalling is when you are silent with the intention of hurting the other person. Your silence is intended to hurt. We all go silent when we have issues. It's just a part of who we are. Sometimes we just don't talk because we're hurt. We don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to reveal it. Sometimes we just do. I need y'all to talk to me tonight if you understand what I'm saying. But I want you to tell you the difference here, that if you are pausing in your communication for a legitimate reason, that's one thing. But if you are stonewalling to cause injury to the other person, that's something different. Wendy says this. Wait, who on here uses silent treatment and how do they use it? I'm just curious. Absolutely. Here's the thing, and please talk about it. because the silent treatment is not always silence. And one thing that we share quite often is that what silent treatment does quite often is that it delivers a message. I want you to feel my silence, and I want you to feel my pain. That's what the silent treatment is doing. In a lot of instances, I want you to feel my silence, and I want you to feel my pain. Now, is silent treatment ever a boundary? Yes. You're right, Wendy. Silence becomes my power. Is silence ever a boundary? Absolutely it is. But get this. I need you to get this. If you have to guess, please understand. If you have to guess what you did wrong, you're not experiencing a boundary. You're experiencing punishment. Because if it's a boundary, if it's something that you have to be careful that the other person doesn't cross or hurt you, you have to communicate that thing. If you're not communicating it and the other person has to guess it, it is not a boundary. It is a weapon. Okay, Irma. Irma says this. She says, I stay silent often because I don't want to say something that would be damaging to the relationship. Get it? I get that. Now, and we're going to talk about how to do that, because that's legit. That's legit, Irma. If you're silent because you don't want to say something to hurt the relationship, that's cool. But understand something. Silence is communicating. Silence is communicating. And if I'm communicating silence, and the other person doesn't know what's going on or why I'm silent, I could be, in their perception, communicating anger. I could be communicating distance. I could be communicating fear. I can be communicating any number of things because I am not making it known why I'm silent. Okay? That's really, really important. Okay, Wendy, you got something here. Wendy says, as a boundary, shouldn't both partners clearly? Absolutely. Absolutely. And here's what happens quite often. When a person feels injured, or when someone feels like their feelings have been hurt, quite often we don't know how to express what we feel. And so our response is not to say anything. As Irma was just saying, you'll say that because you don't want to hurt nobody. You don't want to mess things up. I'm just going to shut up. But a lot of times, silence, not talking, is much more dangerous than just expressing what you're feeling and letting the person at least know what's happening in the situation. Can you get to resolution by being silent? No, you cannot. Straightforward, absolutely not. The only way I can know exactly what's happening in your world, or exactly what's on your heart or what's on your mind, is if you tell me. And we live with this notion, well, you ought to know, you ought to know. No, I shouldn't know. How ought I to know? Why I ought to know? Because we just been arguing. We've been arguing about 5 things. I don't know what you're silent about. We've been fussing about a whole bunch of crap lately. I don't know why you're silent now. So these things have to be communicated. Okay, now let's talk about how to use silence positively. Okay, there are 4 questions that you have to ask yourself. And we're putting all these videos. They're going to be coming out on YouTube. So you're going to be seeing them. You're going to be able to review them. Okay, but there are 4 questions you have to ask if someone's being silent, or if you yourself are being silent. Wendy, okay. Running away from this issue doesn't solve it, yet some people use silence hoping it will go away. Both men, absolutely. This is not just a woman thing. It is not. In my over 20 years, 25 years of talking to couples, I've seen men and women use this and use it ineffectively. Use it to hurt. When I don't know what's going on in your mind, I get to make up what I think is going on. And if I make up what I think is going on, I'm going to act based on what I think is happening. You sign up for something else. Oh, she must be mad because I didn't get her a gift. Ain't got nothing to do with your gift. She must be mad because of that. Say, dang, well, let me go out and buy her some flowers. You come home and front by give. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It has nothing. That's not even her love language. If it's not communicated, it's very difficult to get towards resolution. Where are the other people? I'm curious about their opinion. Now is not the time for. Okay, Wendy. Okay, fine. They'll come. They'll come. Let's talk about the 4 questions that tell you the truth. Okay, I'm going to give you 4 questions about silence in your marriage. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know if you're getting this. Okay? Because y'all are being real silent. And sometimes we have technical difficulty. I need to know, is this technical difficulty or y'all just listening? All right? So give me a thumbs up. Say, you there? Okay, good. No, I know you, Wendy. Give me a thumbs up. Somebody else. Let me know. So here's some of the 4 questions. We're going to do it anyway. Great, Manny. I hear you. All right. Now, the first question you're going to ask, if there's silence, great. Thank you, guys. The first question you're going to ask, if you're being silent or if your partner is being silent, number 1, is there an exit ramp? I need you to hear me. Is there an exit ramp? You see, a boundary has a stated condition to re-engage. If it's a boundary and I'm silent because, as Irma said earlier, because I don't want to hurt nobody, I'm communicating that and I'm saying, you know what, I need 10 minutes. I'm going to take 30 minutes away. Just to talk, just to think or something. And then I'm going to come back, okay? And come back in 30 minutes. That's the difference. Is there an exit ramp? Is there a time when that silence is going to end? So if you're being silent and it has not been communicated, if there's an exit ramp to that silence, I need till tonight. Let's talk then. Anything like that, the silent treatment has no exit ramp, then it's punishment. I'm giving y'all tools here. If there's no exit ramp. So that's the first question. Your partner is silent. You have to ask yourself, is there an exit ramp with this? Is there a landing? Or is she just silent and not communicating anything? Number 2, who is the silence protecting? At least you get this. What's up, James? Who is the silence protecting? Okay? A boundary protects the relationship. And I talk about boundaries because sometimes you're silent because, as was said, you don't want to say anything to hurt the relationship or whatever. You're making sure that you don't cross certain boundaries. I'm not going to say anything because I know you're real sensitive now. You're not saying that, but that's how you're feeling. You're maybe not saying nothing because you see that if you say something, it might be a whole ball of mess. So you're not going to, whatever that is, that's consideration. That's conscientious silence. That's real silence where you're silent because I'm trying to protect. So the question is, who is the silence protecting? If it's a boundary, like we're talking about, the goal of the boundary is to protect the relationship. It slows down things so nobody says anything that's going to hurt the relationship. The silent treatment protects the ego. Boundary protects the relationship. Silent treatment protects the ego. I ain't going to say nothing. And I know that if I'm not saying nothing, that I'm exerting power. That's why I put in the book silence as one of the modes of, one of the pathways of communication. Because you know that if you're being silent, then what's happening is that you're gaining power. Because you know your partner wants you to talk. And it's almost like in sales. I was in sales for years. On Wall Street, I spent 12 years in investments. And there was one rule we had. Well, it was a whole bunch of rules, but this is one. When you're selling something. This rule was, when you make the appeal, when you finally do the appeal, you make that closing, boom, the next person who talks loses. So if I'm talking to you about, I don't know, a mutual fund, and I tell you that this mutual fund has no front load, there's no balance, it's a no load fund, there are no fees, whatever. It's an aggressive fund. You're going to, the past 5 years, it's gained 16% annually, whatever. Boom. You need this in your life because if you don't, you're going to be losing money. Yeah, whatever it is, boom, I gave you the closing. Now, I shut up. Where do you want to, or I'll ask at the closing. So let's put $50,000 in this fund. I say nothing. Silence. person sits there, gets uncomfortable, they fidgets, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't think that's too much. Well, then how important is it to you to gain for this money to grow? You lost because you answered first. If I answer first and I say something like, well, if that's too much, maybe we ought to try to no, I lost. So understand how this thing works. Okay? Who is silence protecting? If it's protecting your ego, and you silence because you know that I'm silent, I'm gaining power. That's manipulation. But if I'm silent because I know that I want to protect the relationship and I communicate that, let me stop talking right now. Let's take 30 minutes and breathe and then come back and talk about it. Then you're protecting the relationship. I hope you got that. Melanie says, good point. Sometimes emotions are too high, speaking everything you feel at the wrong moment. Girl, please. Absolutely. But you must communicate the silence. You're absolutely right. But you must communicate that this is something we're doing. We're going to be silent. Let's come back together tonight at 7 o'clock and let's talk about it. And do that. Don't say that and then don't do it. You're just screwing up things up. Okay, first question, is there an exit ramp to your silence? Second question, who is your silence protecting? Third question, get this now. Does it come with information or does it come with a puzzle? Does your silence come with information or does it come with a puzzle? Let me give you an example. In chapter 8 of my book, chapter 8 of the book is called Punks Resist Boundaries. And it's important for you to understand this because if you're silent because, for instance, I'm not going to discuss business after 7 p.m. That's information, right? You want to talk to me about stuff, and I said, and I got family time or something or another, you want to talk to me, and I'm not responding. And I say, well, this is my family time, so we're not going to discuss business. Your silence is coming with information, okay? But if it's coming with a puzzle, or a puddle. It's coming with a puzzle with no explanation, then that is a problem. For instance, and I wrote notes here. It says, I'm not discussing finance after 9 p.m. because we'll always fight and neither of us is our best self. Okay, that's a boundary. But I'm not talking to you with zero explanation. That's not a boundary. If I'm not talking to you and I have zero explanation, that's not a boundary. Okay, that's a riddle that you're being punished for. I hope you got that. Here's another comment. Oh, Kobe, yes, that's good. Silence is usually prompted by anger. There was no discussion about, hey, babe, I need to process. It's usually because I'm mad and I don't give a ish. Sometimes there is anger. Sometimes silence comes as a result of fear. Sometimes silence comes. I've talked to many men. Men don't want to talk because they're afraid that if they say something, they're going to hurt somebody. Or if they say something, as Irma said earlier, sometimes it's fear. It's not always anger, but you're absolutely right. A lot of times it is a result of anger. When it's sort of retaliatory. When you're silent to get back at you. Okay? Sometimes it's fear. So I do get that. Okay, first question, is there an exit ramp? Second question, who is silence protecting? Is it a boundary or is it protecting your ego? Third question, does it come with information or does it come with a puzzle? Information, you're communicating why you're silent. A puzzle, I'm going to say nothing and you got to figure it out. Last question, is it time bound or is it indefinite? This goes back to what we were saying. Healthy space has a shape. I need healthy space. It's something that I can see. It ends. When it's indefinite, that's destructive. Okay? Silent treatment is engineered to be open-ended because if it's wishy-washy, that becomes punishment. It's so important for you to understand this. Because I've seen so many couples ruin what could be great because they don't know how to communicate silence. It's okay to be silent. but they don't know how to communicate it. They're silent with anger. They're silent because of fear. But they're never telling their partner why they're silent. And it's very, very simple. You can have all the you time you need if your partner knows that's what you're doing. But if your partner has to guess, you're making them make up things. Silence always comes because you don't feel you're being heard. Yes, you don't feel you're being heard. Now, if I don't feel I'm being heard, there's something that we do, and I've shared it with some of you guys who've ever been in any of our counseling sessions or our seminars. We call them naked moments. And the naked moments are times when you can be emotionally vulnerable and naked in front of your spouse. And you tell them whatever's on your heart. And their job is to sit there and listen. Sit there, shut up, and listen. Okay? Now, if you feel like you're not being heard, this is how this works. Honey, I need a naked moment. Okay. When someone says that, everything shuts down. You be quiet. You sit down. You listen to your spouse. As you're listening, they said, sometimes I feel as though when I'm talking to you, you're not there. You're not locked into me. You don't hear what I'm saying. Okay? And it makes me feel insignificant. Makes me feel like you don't care. Do you hear what I'm saying? Makes me feel like you don't care. It makes me feel as though you don't really consider what I'm saying. You don't care about what I'm saying. Like I'm not being heard. And that bothers me. Because I want you to know me and I want to know you. That kind of communication, does that make sense to you guys? That kind of communication is what brings reconciliation. But when you just saying, I don't feel like I'm being heard, I ain't gonna say nothing. Well, dadgummit, no, you ain't being heard now because you're silent. You want to be heard, you have to speak. But the other partner needs to know that you are speaking because you feel like you're not being heard. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. This is something, Jesus, at times almost up, that I want you to get in summary. A boundary in silence. A boundary is silence that comes with purpose and a door. This is how you know the difference between a boundary and the silent treatment. A boundary in silence, it comes with purpose and a door, meaning you know when it's going to end, you know why it began. That's the door. The silent treatment has a purpose, but there's a lock. There's no ending. Boundary, there's a door. There's always an opening. You know when it's going to end and you know why it began. Silent treatment, it's a lock. I'm going to be silent. I'm not letting you in. I'm not going out. Boom. That is what destroys relationships. And the sad thing is that the underlying issues are never discussed because you've allowed silence to destroy your relationship. It can be fear or hurt, but either way, not clarifying the why of the silence, then setting a timeline for resolution, that is emotional immaturity. Wendy says, you don't want to be that way, but unless you do the things and exercise the discipline required to be emotionally mature, you are just not. And you have to be intentional. You're absolutely right. What if everything you say is being rebutted? That's also not being heard. Melanie, you're absolutely right. Now, first of all, I'm going to caution you against using absolutes. It's not everything you say. It might feel that way, but I doubt if it's everything you say. But this is why you use naked moments. Let me say it this way. Okay, this just came to me. There's a thing in politics called MAD, mutually assured destruction. Okay? You know what that is? When two superpowers have nuclear weapons, they have all the things that are needed to destroy each other. They can destroy the world 10 times over. When two superpowers are that way, I'm sorry, I'm getting distraction here. When two superpowers are that way, what happens is that neither of them are going to act. No one's going to press that button. Why? It's mutually assured destruction. If Russia presses the button, U.S. presses the button, everybody's destroyed. So we keep it at bay. And that is the balance of power. That we're going to make sure ain't nobody going to be destroyed because we both have power to destroy. And that keeps us. Now, what am I saying here? This is what I'm saying. Mel says, what if everything you say is being rebutted? And that's also not being heard. The fact of the matter is, when two people understand the value of what they have, they understand the power of what they have. I don't care how angry you are. There are certain things I'm not going to do. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to press that button because I know it'll kill both of us. If I'm in a situation and that person has gotten to the point where they're going to rebut everything that I say, I suggest you get counseling because the mutually assured destruction is not understood. Wendy and I have arguments, but there's some things that we understand. If she sees that I'm always coming at her or she's always coming at me, no. We have to understand our power to destroy each other. And so there has to be vulnerability. There has to be give in. When you see a couple that has given up has erased that knowledge, and now they don't care about destroying each other, that marriage is in danger. It may be that the person doesn't realize it. But when you have a marriage, there should be some mutually assured destructiveness that you both understand. That if we both have the power to destroy each other. And if we don't come together and somebody relents, we both relent, we both give in, that could be a problem. I hope that made sense. It's a long explanation to get to that point. People say they value what they have, but anger makes you act brand new sometimes. You're absolutely right. Man, our time is up. We're only supposed to do this 30 minutes. Should I do this a part two or go on to next week? Okay. Does being standoffish with negative with negativity, with negative fall under the same, or similar sign? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I got you guys. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, great. Does being standoffish with negative energy? Yes. Here's the thing. Even if it's negative energy, okay? If you're being standoffish, if you're separating yourself and you got negative energy, guys, I'm telling you, understand something. First of all, how valuable is your relationship to you? My wife gets on my nerves, and I know I get on hers. But one thing is for sure. I ain't going to do nothing to destroy the relationship. Just not going to happen. Because I see its value. I do. And she sees its value. So I don't care how mad we get. I don't care how pissed off we get. I don't care how silent we get. I'm going to leave an exit ramp in silence. Because I do not want this thing to get to the point where we're destroying each other. Our time is up. I gotta end it here. I will let my developer know that we're going to do part 2 of the same message next week, so that when you get your notifications, you'll see the part 2 and not a new topic. Okay. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Great. Oh, awesome. Good stuff. Look, please, next week, invite somebody. Tell them to download the app. I'm going to tell you this. I've been saying this for months, but now it's about to happen, okay? Someone said, how do we find the recording? We're in the process now. The developers right now are uploading them. onto YouTube. I will let you know when we start releasing them, probably within the next 30 days. Okay, we will definitely let you know when those coming. These will be some of the old ones. We have roughly about 65, 70 videos that we're going to be releasing periodically. Okay. All right. Who is this, Manny? If you want to book a session, please go to our website, marriageaintforpunks.com. Marriageaintforpunks.com. Okay. All right, please. Coop says you got some married friends. Guys, y'all got married people. Bring them. If they single, bring them, because this is life stuff. We're handing out life lessons. Okay? So this is stuff that someone says, Lord knows I need a session. Please go ahead. And look, I'm gonna tell you something. Just keep coming on Tuesday nights, because what's going to happen, we're going to flip the switch. I'm going to need y'all to subscribe. Okay? It's cheaper than getting a private lesson. Trust me when I say that, okay? But I need you guys to, if you want a lesson, go to marriageaintforpunks.com. We're going to start uploading, and God bless you guys. That's you. That's me, Meeks. Oh, God bless you guys. Love you guys. And when they put up the website right there, matsreal.com. Awesome. She's on it. And we'll see you guys next week. Take care.